everyone, I'm here to help you in choosing the right extension. So first, tell you who I am. My name is Jazz. I'm from Cornwall in the UK. I've been a web developer for 8 years now and been involved in the Joomla community for probably about 5 years now. And I am the JED team leader, so hopefully I can help you choosing the right extension. So everyone has got their favorites when it comes to extensions. We all know what extension we might choose for a backup or for an events gallery, lots of different ones that we would choose. But what about when the choice isn't obvious? You've got a new requirement that you need to fulfill. JED offers a selection of 8,000 extensions and some resources to help you narrow down those options so you can find the right extension for your needs. And we've all chosen the wrong extension before, and hopefully I can help you avoid that by showing you some tips on how to use the JED effectively. So as I was saying, we've all chosen the wrong thing before, and it's very often that the description didn't quite read accurately. It said it did something, whereas it really didn't. It didn't meet your requirements. The design wasn't living up to your expectations. It wasn't easy to use. It was difficult to configure. The support was poor. The list just goes on and on. So choosing the right extension is all about knowing your requirements and using JED effectively. So you're going to need to know what functionality you need to solve the problem that you have. And do you need support for the extension that you're going to download? And because support often comes at a cost, can you afford that cost? And because it's subscription-based, can your client afford that ongoing cost as well? Are they going to pay to renew it in 12 months' time? And you're also going to need to know what type of extension you need to solve your problem. So a good place to start is searching on JED. JED offers an advanced search with lots of different options. So you can put your keywords into there, a name of a particular extension, but it also allows you to filter on type, the tags, the compatibility, the category it's in, whether it's free or paid, whether it's got a demo. So there's lots of different tools in the search that you can use to narrow down your results, so help you find the right extension. Another way of searching is looking in the categories on JED. So the categories group extensions into groups and then subgroups of different functionality, and it allows you to browse more freely. So if you don't know the particular keyword for an extension, so I might call an image gallery a gallery, and somebody else might call it a slideshow. So it really does help you to look through the extensions if you don't know the exact keywords that you're looking for. And you can also browse a number of different ways as well. On the top menu, we've got top rated and most viewed. So this is where you're going to find the extensions that are popular within the community. They've been tried and tested before. You know that they are more than likely going to perform well and suit your requirements. And we've also got the new extensions. So this is where you might look. If you've been waiting for a particular extension for a little while, check here. It might be here now. And it's also where you might find the next big name in extensions. So it really is an interesting place to look around. It gives a spotlight to the new extensions. And the detail pages of JED are probably one of the most important pages. This is the page that tells you the most about the extension. So we've obviously got the description where the developer is going to tell you about the different features that the extension offers, but also it provides some information about the developer themselves, the type of extension, the reviews, and some quick links to the demo pages and the support pages and so on. So when you download an extension, you need to know what type of extension you need. So a component is the most popular extension type, and it can be thought of as a mini application. It renders the main body of the page. So this might be an events calendar or an online shop. And then we've also got modules. So these are often referred to as the boxes around the main body of the page, and they provide little extras. So there might be a Twitter feed or a small events list on the side, just to help complement the main content of the page. And then we've also got plugins. So plugins are event handlers, and it helps link the different parts of your website together. So if somebody signs up for an event on your website, you're going to get an email telling you that somebody has purchased a ticket. And then a package includes all of the above. Packages are designed to solve a whole problem. So you might get a component that is an online shop, a module might be the most popular products, and a plugin might be a payment gateway. So it solves a bigger problem. And then we've also got extension-specific extensions. So these are things like additional payment gateways, just little add-ons that you can purchase as well. All extensions listed on JED are GPL version 3 licensed. So this gives the user a number of freedoms. They've got the freedom to view it, use it, change it, and share it. So this means when I've downloaded an extension, I can go and look at the source code. I can change it to my needs. I can make it do what I want. And I can also install it on as many installations of Joomla as I want to. And I can also share my changes as well. So if I add in a new feature and I want to share it with somebody else, the GPL license lets you do that. But it's a matter of liberty, not price. GPL means free as in free speech, not as in free beer. So if you are searching for extensions outside of JED, you want to make sure that they are GPL licensed. This really is an important thing, because it gives you the freedoms to help you mold that extension to your needs. And free versus paid extensions. This is obviously one of the things that can change your decision, but it's not something that you should base your decision solely upon, because free extensions and paid extensions, the divide isn't as clear-cut as that. You need to make sure that the functionality is there, the support is there, the quality. So don't let your budget be the sole deciding factor. It should be something you look at a few steps down the line. Check it does what you need first, and then worry about the cost. The release history of an extension is also a really interesting place to look around. It's going to be on the developer's website, and it provides a chronological list of changes that have been made to that extension. So it helps you know when a certain feature has been added into the extension. If it's a new feature, there might be a few bugs, whereas if it's been there a little while, it's probably stable and you're not going to have any problems with it. So it provides a really, really good insight into the extension's lifetime. And another one of the links on the detail page of extensions is the link to the documentation. So this is a fantastic resource that you should always look at. And look here before you download the extension as well, because it allows you to properly research the features that have been described. It lets you see what the exact options you have when you're configuring the extension. So it goes into that little bit more detail that can be really, really helpful. And when you've downloaded the extension, it's a really good place to help you get it configured and set up properly. And if you're not quite sure how to do something, you should really, really look here first before going to the forums or sending an email, because the developer's probably just going to send you back there anyway. So save them a few minutes and look on the documentation first. Support and updates often come as a subscription in a package. And it really is important to keep your extensions up to date. And support, you need to think about whether your client is going to need it on an ongoing basis. So you need to check whether they are prepared to keep paying that subscription cost going forwards. And support can take many forms. It might be a forum, emails, online chats. There's lots of different available options to you. And all of the extensions listed on JED now have to support update servers. So what this means, if there is a new update released for your extension, have a look in the extension manager inside your Joomla installation. If there's an update available, it's going to be listed in there. And it really is a great tool because it saves you going to 10 different developer websites to see if there's been an update released. And of course, if you're not up to date, bad things can happen sometimes. So it really is an important thing to look out for. It's not just about knowing the extension as well, it's about knowing the developer themselves. So go and have a look at their website, look at the blogs and the latest news, see what they've been up to recently. They might have some cool new features planned, but also it gives you a proper insight to how they conduct themselves. If they had to release a security update, have they talked about that transparently and openly? Do you feel like you can trust them? Because you are installing their code onto your website, so you need to have a good understanding of just what you are installing. Another place to look is the social media. So go and find their Twitter account, their Facebook account. Their language can often be very different on here because they're not restricted as much as they are on their website. They've got a little bit more freedom of speech. So look how they conduct themselves outside of that safety net. It can really help you get to know them a little bit better. And also have a look at the design of their website as well. Is it easy to use, to understand? Is it laid out well? This is important because chances are it's going to be reflected in the back end of their extensions. If their website's easy to use, chances are their extension will be as well. So the JED reviews and scores, again, this is a really good place to look. It provides an indication of the user experience and satisfaction levels of people who have already downloaded the extension. And it might highlight some possible problems that you might have with a feature. So it really is a fantastic resource. But something else that's often overlooked on the reviews, the developer's replies. So this is when a developer has replied to a review that's been left for their extension. And it really is a good way of seeing how they interact with their users, the people who've downloaded their extension. The extension demos, this is probably one of the first buttons that you want to click on, but I recommend going through the previous steps first and then working your way up to the demos. And demos can range from screenshots to fully live installations that let you mess around with the settings and configure it and see what it can really do. And it's kind of like a try before you buy sort of thing. So a live demo is the best way of checking out an extension's capabilities. And it gives you a really good opportunity to check that it's going to meet your requirements. So does it do what it said it could do in the description? And does it let you achieve the issue that you're trying to solve? Extension-specific extensions often provide extra features, such as display of additional content or payment gateways and event handlers, and it can provide an integration between two different extensions. So if you want to make the different parts of your website feel more unified, a plugin that is extension specific can help link up those different areas to provide a more rounded solution. So now we've looked at all of that, you need to decide whether the extension you've chosen meets your requirements. Do the back-end and front-end views allow the admin to achieve what they need? And does it let the user achieve their tasks as well? Is it compatible with your setup? And does it offer support and updates if you think you need those? And are the reviews satisfactory? Are you comfortable with this extension that you're about to install on your website? And on the extension demo, have a look at the responsiveness and speed of the extension. This is something that's really important now because I think over 50% of browsing is now done on mobile devices. So you need to be sure the extension you're downloading is going to be responsive and play nice on mobiles. And also open up the browser console, see if there's any errors that pop up in there, anything that you should be concerned about. And another point is the code quality. So if you are a developer, you can go and look at the level of the code inside and check that you're happy with it. And on a similar subject, check that it runs on PHP 7 as well. It's something that is becoming more and more important, and it's going to make your website run so much faster and more smoothly. So PHP 7 support for an extension is definitely something that you should be looking out for. So we finally got there. We've got to the download button. So go ahead, download it, install, and start configuring your extension. But hold on, what if the extension you've downloaded isn't exactly suited to your requirements? What if there's just this one little part that it just doesn't do? You could go find another extension, but there's also benefits of carrying on with what you've got. Select the closest match and contact the developer and see if they can work with you to fulfill that small little requirement that's missing. They might say, yeah, we've got that coming in the next release, or they might work with you to provide a custom solution for your requirements. You could also search for a developer to do that job for you, and you can also create overrides as well if you're a developer. But a word of caution here, know your limitations, because this is where things can get complicated. So have a backup plan in place just in case it doesn't go to plan. So to round things up, like I said, we've all chosen the wrong extension before, but you shouldn't be put off. Keep on researching, keep on experimenting with extensions. And Joomla has a fantastic community, so take advantage of this. If you're not sure which extension to choose, ask about it on the Facebook page or the forums. Chances are somebody's had a similar problem to you and can recommend an extension that would suit your needs. And of course, where possible, give back to the community as well. So if you see someone asking a question and you know that answer, give that back to them as well. And extension developers devote hours and hours of their time into the support, the building of their extension, the maintenance. So you really should support them by buying the pro version. Even if you don't need it, support them. Put that money in their pocket, and because they are providing a fantastic service to the community. Submit a review on JED. Let them know how you feel. But try and be a little objective as well, because your reviews are meant to help others as well. So if you had a small problem and the developer worked with you to get it resolved, put that in the review, because that's a fantastic piece of feedback for the users and the developer as well. Share about it on social media. Say, hey, I found this fantastic new extension. You should check it out. And finally, don't forget to say thank you. That's one of the things that everybody forgets sometimes. So make sure you say thank you. Thank you. Any questions? Daniel.
Yeah, just great. Great presentation, Jazz. Thank you. What is the legal frame for the fork extension?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
For the fork extension fork.
Forking an extension. Yeah. If you're going to fork an extension or choose an extension that has been forked, the general rule of thumb is we do look at each example on a case-by-case basis, and if the code has had a new feature added to it, say 20% of the code base has changed, then we would consider that as a fork. But forks are fantastic things sometimes. They often provide a different perspective on a problem, provide new additional features to it. So forks are not something to be scared of. I mean, Joomla is a fork itself. So. Okay. Thank you.